Hello everybody, it is the afternoon here, going towards evening, and today we're going to talk about pedophiles. Now, to start off, I think pedophiles are scum. Yeah, so, no, I'm going to get to the point of this video in a moment, but to start off with, I think pedophilia is disgusting, absolutely disgusting. Taking advantage of a young child or teenager who is not fully developed, does not understand what's going on yet, with their own body for your own personal pleasure is disgusting, filthy, horrible. And just as we put animals down for attacking children, I think we should put pedophiles down. I honestly do believe. If you are a pedophile who is unrepentant and has been shown to have a consistent problem, or be a consistent problem, you deserve euthanasia. End of story. Just bye. Remove yourself. We don't need you in our society. Go to hell. Now, I have participated directly in the arrest and investigation of one pedophile and participated in the investigation of a second pedophile, both of whom I knew personally, one of whom was a very good friend of mine, unfortunately, on the submarine I was on. He was part of my little group of friends that we hung out together after work and tried to pretend we were happy. So yeah, I actually have some personal experience with this, and I gotta say, no tolerance. I mean, granted, my friend, the one who I actually helped arrest, unfortunately, he is serving his time. He has a 9-year sentence, I think. I think it's a 9-year sentence. And he's doing his time. He's up for parole at year 7, which is like another 2 years, I want to say. And then, yeah, but he is actually, I actually commend him. I actually am still in contact with him. And I commend him because he is getting help. He recognizes that he has a problem and that he is getting help for that problem. So I actually really, really do commend him for that. And I have no problem being in touch with him still because he is trying to fix himself. He understands that he is broken and he is trying to make it better. He understands that what he thinks and wants is wrong. And unfortunately, not all of them are like that. Lately on YouTube, I don't know if you've seen it, but there are a lot of fucking pedophiles coming out. I've seen it on Facebook, I've seen it on Twitter, and I've also seen it on YouTube, where people are coming out and saying, I'm a pedophile, and there's nothing wrong with that. Oh, fuck. No. Fuck you. Really, really hard. Seriously, I'm going to go get one of those dragon dildos from a local sex shop and shove that up your ass. Oh, God. And just there are now videos on YouTube explaining why pedophilia is not wrong and how it's okay. And a lot of these people, these sickos, are basing this notion of pedophilia being okay on the fact that sexuality is fluid and that gender is fluid and blah 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 blah, all that nonsense we hear these days. And that's honestly, it's something I was always kind of worried about. I'm all for gay rights, I'm all for trans rights, but in my mind, there are two genders, two sexes, whatever you want to call it. There's male and female. Occasionally there's an in-between if you're born that way. But you're born one of two genders. You don't get to be a random third gender because you want to be a random third gender. You pick a gender. And I'm all for, I'm bisexual. If I want to marry a guy, I'm going to marry a guy. If I want to marry a girl, I'm going to marry a girl. I'm all for gay marriage. I'm all for equal rights for homosexuals at large. I'm all for everything involving that. But the moment we, as a Western society, this is something that kind of runs rampant in the West and elsewhere as well, the moment as a human society we started to say that sexuality was a fluid thing, that gender was a fluid thing, I was always kind of worried about this. I was worried that pedophiliacs specifically, would start popping up and be very kind of concerning. And to some degree we're starting to see that. Unfortunately, they are starting to pop up here and there. Thankfully not in mass. I guess they still have the sense to not do that. Although honestly, I like it more when they wave big red flags saying over here, I like children, because then you can just go get them and get rid of them. But genuinely, I am concerned that You know, as we move further down this track of espousing that gender is a construct and that it's fluid and it's okay to do all these different wacky things, that we're quite frankly going to end up in a situation where it's like, well, maybe pedophilia is okay, and no, 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 no. Please don't do that. I mean, I'm obviously it hasn't happened yet. I can't say it's going to happen, but that's a personal concern of mine, is that, you know, people with very twisted ideas of what sexuality is and what sex is are going to start using the current climate of sexual fluidity, as I'm going to call it at the time, to justify themselves and try and convince people that they're right. And I've seen a few videos now on YouTube where these pedophiles are acting as if they're being persecuted for doing nothing wrong. And I don't have faith anymore that we're smart enough as a society to disagree with them. There are so many weird, wacky people out there now who are espousing all their gender identity nonsense that I'm looking at it and like, I don't trust you to realize that having sex with a child is wrong. And let's be honest, there are parts of the world where having sex with a child isn't wrong. And I'm not talking about places that have lower ages. Like, you know, there are some countries where the age of consent, like here in America, broadly speaking, the age of consent is 18. You're considered an adult at 18. You can have sex at 18. Now, some states, that age is lower. You can have sex legally, consensually at like 16 or 17 if it's with another minor. Not with adults, but another minor is okay. But there are other countries out there where the age is lower. I'm not going to give exact numbers because I haven't looked this up in a long time. I did look it up at one point, but again, I'm not going to give exact numbers or which country. But there are countries where the age of consent is 16, for example, where, you know, an adult can have sex with a 16-year-old if the 16-year-old is willing. And so in that situation, that's different. That is different. It's a legal... There's a cultural legality issue there that's completely different. However, there are other countries around the world where it gets a lot more extreme. You know, it's not a teenager saying, yes, I want to have sex with this person. It's, you know, a little boy or girl being sold as a child bride or being given as a child bride to an older, you know, man or woman and then being forced to have sex with them. That is fucked up. And I don't want to see that become the norm here, just because some weird loonies are trying to espouse the idea that it's okay and that it's, you know, they shouldn't be persecuted for it. No, it's not okay. I don't care what justifications you use. Having sex with children is fucked up in all forms, and any group or person that practices that needs to be annihilated. You need to be removed. End of story. Now, as I said, in the case of my former friend who I arrested for this sort of shit, if you understand that it's wrong and you are getting psychological help to fix your problem, cool. You can rejoin society. You can be a functional member of society. I'm all for that. I'm all for giving people a second chance. That's fine. But if you're not repentant, if you're sitting here arguing that it's okay to be a pedophile, to sleep with little girls and boys, holy shit, please take a gun and point it here. If you survive that, sure, by all means you can be a pedophile. If you don't, well, I'm going to applaud your sacrifice. Seriously, fuck off. And if you think that I'm being too harsh here, I don't care. I really don't care. I do not agree with this notion that pedophilia is okay, and the fact that there are people now, pedophiles now, who seem to think that it's safe to come out. Holy shit, arrest these fuckers, lock them up, and if we can make it legal, euthanize the bastards. Holy shit.